In a bold move, the Biden administration recently designated atrocities committed against Armenians in 1915 as genocide. This on the heels of another genocide designation against China for the communist government's treatment of Uyghur Muslims there today. So, what does this all mean? For more on this, we're joined by USERF chairwoman Anirima Bhargava. Thank you so much for being with us. Tell us, what does a genocide designation mean? How do you get there, and what action comes with that?
Sure. Thank you so much for having me, Jennifer. The 1948 Genocide Convention defined genocide when specific acts are committed with the intent to destroy, in whole or in part, a national, ethnic, racial, or religious group. So this is when the effort is really to take an entire community off the map.
Anyone who's been watching this broadcast has heard a lot about what Uyghurs are facing in China in the recent designations by both the Trump and the Biden administrations of genocide there. But it's been a while since the US has made that designation. Can you give us some history there?
Sure. So the United States has actually made designations that states have engaged in genocide, including in Bosnia, in Rwanda, in Iraq, in Darfur, and then areas that are under the control of ISIS, and then most recently in December in China. Of course, this past April, President Biden took a long-awaited step and recognized the Armenian genocide, which had taken place in 1915.
And for the rest of the world, that seems like a long time, but I know for these communities, that's their heritage. Those were their grandparents and their great grandparents, and they live with that every day. Can you talk about personally what it means to some of these communities to have the world, and especially a superpower like the United States, to give them that designation?
These communities that have faced persecution and extraordinary violence, tortures, killings, rapes, in mass form, they have experienced unheard of trauma and horror. And to then have a situation in which they're silenced, or that history is erased, or it's not acknowledged, is at best a re-traumatization.
I'm always struck by the fact that in 2021, we are still talking about genocide that is occurring right now. As we've mentioned, Uyghurs in China. Are there other parts of the world that are moving towards a possible designation of genocide right now?
So unfortunately, Jennifer, there are parts of the world in which we are already at a place in which genocide is occurring, and that's certainly with regards to the Rohingya, who have been pushed out of Burma violently, where we saw the kind of mass rape and torture and killings in Burma as that displacement occurred. Now, actually, 7 years ago, we saw with the Yazidis in Iraq and Syria. Again, the displacement, the torture, the killing, the rape of a community with the intent to again take them off the map entirely by ISIS and others.
Chairwoman Bhargava, thank you for drawing attention to this important issue. We appreciate your time.
Thank you very much, Jennifer, for having me.